Welcome to the WDW Fan Zone Show. I'm Stuart with Kurt and Darlene, and tonight we're going to be talking food, lots of Disney food. And the question we're going to ask is it really worth getting the dining plan? And I'm not talking necessarily about price, I'm talking about quantity of food that you would have to consume during your stay. And we're going to get into that and more right now. As unfortunately, quite a few of us are not here tonight. Lottie's away on business. John is away on a cruise. And Jess? I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Hopefully you'll feel better real soon. I do want to mention one more thing two things actually before we start the show. For those of you who haven't noticed, you can see all the marks on my face. I went to the dermatologist today. She used it as target practice. Oh, so I'm recovering from having a few things frozen off my face. She's a great dermatologist. And I'm glad she's catching these things. Being here in Florida and not in the sun all the time, not probably the wisest thing to do, but, I'm here.
Well, you do wear sunscreen like I tell you every week.
Yes, I do. But,
and a hat.
Sometimes with that.
I'll be tossing that in.
Yeah. Next week, for those of you who don't already know, will be my final week here at WDW Fan Zone. I've decided to step away from it. Life's just gotten very busy for me down here, and I'm looking to do different things, all in retirement actually, but do different things, and I'll be turning the reins over to John after next week. And I think he'll do great with the show, and we'll get into more reasons why and everything else next week at some point in the show. But right now, let's talk food. So, Kurt, you probably feel the same way about the dining plan as I do. So I'll let you state your case as to why you should or shouldn't first, and then we'll get to Darlene, who I think will also have a little bit of a different perspective.
We kind of touched on a little bit just in our pre-show fist fight. We didn't fight people. Back when the dining plan first started, it was like $30. You got table service, which included the appetizer, the main dish, the dessert, and a non-alcoholic drink. And then you also had your quick service meal with a drink, and also I think it was 2 snacks a day. Again, it was $30. This is 15, 18 years ago, whatever it was now. And right away, people said it's too much food. It's too much food. And the next year came back and they took away the appetizer. Oh, and it also included the gratuity. People felt they weren't getting a good enough service because of the gratuity. The next year they came back, they removed the gratuity because people want the service better. And then they also removed the appetizer because they felt people were paying too much money for food. Or it was just too much food to eat. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Oh, but they raised the price while they were at it. So it became $35. Well, now it's the same thing with that. It's the same meals and with a dessert and a non-alcoholic drink, but it's now $95. In order to, and someone priced it out, you pretty much have to eat the most expensive thing on the menu everywhere you go in order to even break even with that $95. So, and quite honestly, in our experience with it, there were days we would do the quick service meal. The quick service, it's 2 quick service meals and 2 snacks. And I have a son who every once in a while will be like, I just can't eat. It's too hot. I don't want any food. So now that meal rolls over to another day. And you get to the point of where you're like, we don't need this much food. And you used to be able to, 1 meal would equal 2 snacks. So you used to be able to just, here, let's go in. We'll buy 3 snacks, 4 snacks, whatever were left over for meals. And we'll take these things home with you. Well, they don't allow you to do that anymore. So is it a value? Honestly, no. The long story explaining everything, as far as I'm concerned, no. It's just not worth the money anymore. So I'm sorry.
Yep, I completely agree with Kurt. I'll add a little bit more to that shortly, but we're going to let Darlene go because I hope you have a little bit of a different perspective from Kurt and myself.
Well,
If not, that's
okay.
okay. Don't get me wrong. That's what
Uh,
we're here for.
so I mean, we weren't always we didn't use the dining plan very often because we're DVC members. We when we were able to purchase it, we did. And my husband did enjoy it back then because we didn't have to, everything was prepaid. We didn't have to worry about it. It's the freedom. You go, you order food, you eat, you're good. Blah. Um, right now, um, we only did table service, I think, once or twice. So we're more of a quick service family. So the quick service price, and this includes tax, but not your tips and gratuity.
Mhm.
If you have like a party over a certain amount, it's 59.14 for adult and 24.71 for children. That is a little bit pricey because you can probably walk up to a quick service, say Regal Eagle, and you can get a quick service meal for under with a soda and a meal for probably $20-25.
Per person. Yeah.
Um, I mean, you're getting, you're getting two two quick services and a snack and a refillable mug. Yes, that would be nice. Um, but the refillable mugs are, I think, 23.99 now. Still, I don't know if that's worth it.
I will say that refillable mug, when my wife were down there for the 4 days, we got the refillable mug, and it it forced us to go down and drink more down at the quick service area. So we could take it from one location to another as a resort. And if you actually use that mug, it pays itself off, which is nice.
It
But
does
I don't feel like you. I am like $57 a day. Um, I don't eat
per
that much in a
person.
day per
Yeah,
person. Yeah, that's my
per
point.
person.
I
Right.
don't eat that much in a day, and that's where we're running into with my kids, and they're like, "Oh, well, you've got to eat something. Here, how about a bowl?" This was with the regular meal. You got to eat something. Here, we'll bring you a bowl of cereal. So you're using a table service dining for a bowl of cereal,
Right?
and we're
That
like,
doesn't make sense.
seriously?
Mhm. Yeah.
So because he's there, he's got to eat something. So it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree. I know when my kids were little, the first year we did the dining plan, the appetizer was included along with the gratuities, as well as the meal and the dessert and the drink, non-alcoholic. And we did it with our kids because our kids, I didn't want my kids to be like my nephews were, who only ate mozzarella sticks or hamburgers or something like that, and didn't have much of a variety of food. Our kids, we tried to condition them to try new things and see what they like and don't like. And we told them, hey, we're when they were old enough to get adult meals. You're not picking off the kids menu. You're going to get adult meals. And you know what? If you don't like one thing, that's okay. Maybe the next person you'll like something else. They like the variety. It worked well, but at the time, it was reasonable. The prices
Affordable.
for the dining plan. Too much food, and that's a problem with me because if you give me unlimited food, I'm going to eat unlimited food. If you give me a large amount of
Mhm.
food, I'm going to eat it, but most people won't. And thank God most people are not because you don't want to wind up eating everything like I do. Go
Can
ahead,
I
Kurt.
add something to that?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is still in play or not. It used to be you could buy your kids theirs, and I would ask, I don't see I don't see here which is the kids meal and which is the adult. And the guy goes, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but you can order anything off the adult meal. Your kids can order anything off the adult. If this is enough food, you can order from the adult meal.
I know adults can
It,
order up the kids menu.
it used to be the other way around. You could
Yeah,
order off the adult meal. I don't know if that's still possible or
yeah.
not.
Well, somebody out there can do that or has done that. Please let us know.
Yeah, let us know, because it's been probably 8 years
Yeah.
since we decided to try the quick service, and every time we try it, we're like, let's try it one last time. We just don't save the money. We've saved the receipts to look at, and we're like, we saved more money last time not doing it this way.
You know, I'm very fortunate. I've mentioned this on the show before because I have a lot of neighbors that are cast members. So I've gotten to eat at a lot of sit down restaurants since I've moved down here, that have been deeply discounted, through the cast member discounts. And it's still not a cheap proposition.
Mm-hmm.
But if I didn't have that opportunity through my cast member friends, I don't know how often I would eat at a sit down restaurant at Disney. It's just, it can be too much food at some point, in some instances, it can be too costly in others, or both. And I know if I'm a family of, let's say, 4 or 5 coming down here, and 3 of them are young children, most kids, not all, but most kids are picky eaters, and the ones that aren't, God bless them. But how much food can you eat in one day? Yes, you're burning off calories, but contrary to the rumor, and we've all said it here, that there is no such thing as calories when you're at Walt Disney World. That is not really true.
The
You
year
don't.
of COVID, I think I gained 15 pounds.
Yeah, if I go on a cruise, I'm good for gaining 6 or 7 pounds. I try to lose it
Yeah,
before I go on the cruise. Um,
yeah.
God forbid I hit the gym, uh, but something I do want to mention, when I'm on a cruise, it's like I'll get the non-alcoholic drink package if it's worth it. Like I went on one over a year ago. I think it was like $10 or $8 a day or 9. I'm not even sure, but I can drink that much in soda a day. And soda
Mm-hmm.
about $3.50 a glass, I want to say. So for me, it was worth it. But
Mm-hmm.
for someone else, they might be able to get away with water, iced tea, whatever they serve there for free and not purchase that. At
Hmm.
Disney World, for me, because of that, the refillable mugs are worth it just for that reason. But I think, most people would not drink as much as I would. I mean, I could drink soda all day, which
Well,
I probably shouldn't, but
here's a good point with that, and I didn't even think about this. I'm drinking you ever heard of Mio? You're
yes.
just basically taking water and then you
Yep.
add the flavor to it.
I love
This is
Mio. I
another
love adding
version
that
of it.
to it.
You can take that on the boat with you.
Yep.
Fill up the water,
Yep.
done.
And I've
You
done
just
that.
saved yourself $3 or $4.
Or I get the Crystal Light, those 10 packs
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
and just add it to water, and there you go. You've
You
got
look, yeah, you look a
no
little
sugar.
dorky at your like really formal dinner, going pouring it in there.
Yep.
But hey, you just saved yourself $8.
I wonder if
Yeah.
Keith could do that with his lemonade
Yes.
that he
Yeah,
likes
Yes. Why
that
not?
he can
And
drink.
you know what? You could do that at Disney World. If
free cup of water.
ask for a cup of ice water and put, a thing of Mio in there, a few drops,
Yeah.
or the powder.
I will warn you. So we use Brita filters that kind of takes all that flavor out of there. I used to use just bottles of water and I'd fill it up, and then I
Mhm.
add the Mio or the Brita or whatever your lemonade. The water at Disney is not good water. So if you're using that water at Disney and you use this other stuff, it's not going to. If you don't live in Florida, when you go to Florida, you drink their water, you know the difference. Why we
Yeah.
always say bring
Yeah.
a water filter. You
Both
gotta
of
get
them
used
are.
to that flavor because they're like, oh, this does not taste right. It's the
At
minerals in the
Epcot
water.
water and is it Hollywood
Animal
Studios
Kingdom.
or Animal Kingdom? I think those Epcot and Hollywood are the best tasting water that don't have because like Pandora has James Cameron made sure that he put in good water filtration in his lines
Yeah,
and stuff, and you can fill the bottles there. That's good.
that's at Animal
Star
Kingdom.
Wars Galaxy Edge, same
Same thing.
thing. Yeah, the newer the newer areas have better water.
Mhm.
But
It's the water dispensing. If you've got something you can take your bottle and go click, and it'll
Mhm.
fill your bottle that way, you've
Yeah.
got a filter built into that system. You
Mhm.
are correct.
Yeah, and hopefully as they build new lands there, they'll add that filtration
Correct.
system. And,
Yeah.
Darlene and I both have water filter systems in our homes.
Mhm.
I'm spoiled.
We need it down here, right? So, I drink my water, it's okay. I go to Disney and it's like, oh,
I know.
what
Yeah.
is this crap?
I know. I try to make
It's
sure I take
flavored.
my own water with me. But,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, I'm glad that they're bringing it back because it probably helps people think that they're budgeting for their trip. Maybe
Mhm.
that's how they have to do it. Um, like the guys have been saying all night long, none of us eat the way we used to eat.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Um, Even my husband doesn't eat as much as he used to eat, you know? I know you guys are all coming down here. You want to try everything and anything. Maybe that dining plan, the deluxe, would be good for you because I know the cost of a sit down at some of the restaurants can range anywhere from $59.99 to 70 some dollars, I think it is now for
Mhm.
some of them. So it might pan out for you that the sit down would be good for you.
But
Don't
you know what?
forget though, those character meals, it's a double
It's a double.
meal. So it's
Mm,
taking away 2 of your dining plan meals.
it
Yep.
is.
And how
It
many
is.
sit-down meals can you eat or can you have per day? Remember, a sit-down meal, you're not spending a half hour in and out and back to the
Right.
attractions. You're spending at least, I want to say at least an hour, and I think I'm being generous, not generous, um, very conservative when I say at least an hour. I think up to 2 hours is probably more likely.
Mhm.
What I'd
Right.
like
And
to
you're in the
see. Go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say we're the last time we used that meal was the last time we said, "This is silly." We were in the middle of doing something, and here we are with our kids deeply into this is great. We're really enjoying it. We're like, yep, sorry, we gotta go. We got a table service reservation. It's gonna take us 20 minutes to walk over there. If we don't get over there in time, they're gonna give our reservation away. We're gonna lose we've got to get there for a meal.
Yep.
That's We'd rather be on the fly. So, but also like Darlene said, I know people that's how they budget it. They're like, I just want it paid for and I don't want to think about it.
That's how
Mhm.
we were.
So
When we used to go down there, that's how we felt. It's like, let's have it done so we don't have to worry about it. Then we found out we could use gift cards and we started doing it that way.
Mhm.
mhm.
Um,
And my husband just thinks just use the Visa and get the points.
yeah, yeah,
Bingo. That's what we
yeah,
do. Everything
yeah.
just goes right back. The points are going to be used back at Disney anyways.
Right.
Right?
So they're charging you an arm and a leg. Let's at least get a toe back, right?
Hmm.
Come on.
Yep, I agree. What I'd like to see Disney do, and they'll never do this because there's such a markup on food. They're making a lot of money off the dining plan.
Hmm.
But what I'd like to see them do is, have a room rate that includes like maybe a little bit of a dining plan, not necessarily the full dining plan,
Maybe like a breakfast or something.
right? Or even a counter service.
Yeah. Here's a counter
Well,
service for your stay.
Yep.
a free breakfast with your meal at a resort. What a concept! I wonder if any other hotels do that around the world. Hmm.
As long as it's not continental breakfast, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well,
But I mean, that's something they could do. But why should they? Because people are going to spend the money.
people spend the money.
Yeah, and it's going to continue. And you know what? Look, as bad as the cost is, I think it's just the amount of food you're able to get with that, and it's like, God, if anybody's like me, it's going to be okay. Just bring it on. And I hope
Well,
most people will say no, but then they're going to think they lost money because they wasted spending it on it because they didn't take advantage of it all.
I got Mickey waffles one morning on our last trip. So when they gave you the Mickey waffles, they asked the adult or the child size. I go, oh, the adult. It's three. They're this big. You're like, oh, it's 3 Mickey waffles. I'm gonna wolf those down. They're also like an inch and a half thick. I made it through 2 of them, and maybe an ear. And I said, I can't eat anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I'm too full. So it is nice that they will allow you, and they don't even question when they're like, can I get the child size waffles? Everything else is the same. It's just you're getting one less waffle.
Mhm.
And it's like $2, $3 cheaper by doing that. So you don't feel like, as we just said, you're throwing the money away.
Right.
Because here's the food. Oh, well, I just paid all this money for this food. I have to eat it. I finally learned from my wife, you can push it away and throw it out. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Or you can make a healthier choice.
Get a smaller size.
You know, that don't look at me to make the healthier choice, but some of you out there can make the healthier choice. I've learned to eat
Well,
healthier over the years.
Yeah.
But there are healthier alternatives, and Disney does have more now than they've ever had.
They do.
You know, it's like when I'm home, I rarely, probably never eat breakfast. I'd say it's more if I eat breakfast at home once a year, it's a lot. I know people swear by breakfast. I'd rather have a decent lunch and a decent dinner, and that's it.
We will usually, because of how early you got to get to the parks, anyways. If you're gonna rope drop, or be there that extra half hour early for half hours an hour. If you're gonna be there early for early magic hours, we're taking advantage of the fact that we stay at Disney Vacation Club. We have a refrigerator. We have area to store food. We are buying, heck, even if it's a box of donuts, where you're having 1 or 2 donuts a day, or Nutrigrain bars, or something that you can make up quick, Pop-Tarts that you could just make up quick right there. We're doing that so that while we're getting ready, you know, when we first wake up in the morning, if we have to make the virtual line or anything, we're sitting on the patio, munching away right there, drinking our caffeine or just juice or whatever that we have there. But in other words, we're doing a Target run, which is why we get a car, and saving money by doing that. So you can definitely save so much money. And every resort has a little refrigerator. So you can keep all this stuff in your little mini fridge and have it there waiting for you. I mean, you can buy a 6-pack of Coca-Cola bottles, the 20-ounce bottles that they're selling, for almost the same price as buying one. So go to Target, buy the 6-pack for the price that you're paying for one in the park. And just do it that way.
Yeah.
You can save money rather than this whole quick service thing. I mean, one bottle is a snack.
You know, we used to do when our kids were little, instead of going down for breakfast every day, what we would do is bring with us in our luggage those little boxes of cereal, and then just run down to the cafeteria in the hotel or resort and get a little milk or a couple of them. We had bowls and put them in the actually brought bowls with us too. And plastic spoons, and that was breakfast. And on our way, we went to the parks.
Most gift shops have, most gift shops have a even if so. In your point, you brought down the boxes of cereal. You can buy a liter of milk in the gift shop.
Yep.
That way, you're not wasting a gallon. I don't know if they even sell a gallon. That'll fit right there in the front in your refrigerator. Every refrigerator will fit.
Yeah, we used to get those little milks. The little, I forgot what they call, those
the Nestle.
Milks.
Yeah, the Nestle has them.
Yeah,
the chocolate milk to the regular.
And we would get them in the resort and just bring them up to the room and boom, done. Let's go to the park.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can do so much to save money over the dining plan. And like you say, it's hey, yes, you don't want to see that price that you just paid. Okay, then put it on your Disney credit card. When the bill comes, don't look at it. Just put it on there. Or only one person looks at it. Again, my friend, his wife does all the financing. He doesn't even look. I go, how much? They'll do a trip to here and here and here and here and here and all over. And I'm like, how much did that trip just cost you? He goes, Kurt, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's her. She's the financial guru. I'm just happy to be here and keep the kids from going crazy.
You know what I would do? if I were not living down here now and I were coming down here with my family, I might make one or two sit down dining reservations, but I wouldn't get the dining plan. What I would do is get gift cards, as I mentioned before, and put or have approximately enough on the gift cards to pay what I believe the meals will come to. So it's not like something's coming out of my pocket extra. It's already paid for, just in a different
Just
way
take it off the
than
gift card. Yep.
right. And that's what I would do. I don't think you need to have a sit down meal every day down here. I don't think you want to. I think you're better off, especially if you're here just for, let's say, 3, 4, even 5 days. You don't have the time. Even if you get the lightning lanes, you just don't have the time now, the way maybe you did 20 years ago. Parks are more crowded, even though attendance is down from what it was a couple of years ago. They're still more crowded. And when I say more crowded, I don't mean that there's more people in the parks, but the lines are longer for the attractions. So, you have to utilize your time. Like my daughter was here last week, and we went to Epcot. She wanted to go on Frozen, Ratatouille. What else did we do with her? So no, we didn't. Did we do? Yes, we did Soarin'. Um, we did. I want to say about 4 or 5 attractions during the day. Then it was time for dinner. That's not a lot. Now we did not have the lightning lanes, but that's not a lot.
How long did you guys have to wait in lines?
It said 35 minutes for Ratatouille. It was more like 15.
Okay.
Did you do the single
Frozen-
rider line?
No, we did not, because
Oh, wow,
the
you
line
got-
was
that was
the line was moving, so we didn't.
Okay.
And it turned out to be a good move. Then the single rider line had no wait, by the way. People were just walking on with the single rider line.
Oh, wow. That's
Then we went to
awesome.
Frozen. Frozen said 35 minutes, and it took pretty much 35 minutes. Soren was, I think it was 40 or 45 minutes, and it took close to that. It was a little less, but close to that.
Oh, that's the walk through the queue.
And it was the walk through the queue.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sorry. Do you mind what day of the week was that? Or do you want to keep that a
it was
secret?
no, it was a Wednesday.
Okay, because we were going on Monday, which is a mistake
Mhm.
because the deluxe resorts on Monday, that's their after hours time where they give an extra hour. So we made the mistake of going. Well, it was just the day that we were available to go that my sister could come over because she's got the Pixie Dust pass. She couldn't come on the weekend, and we weren't there very long. And all those lines were 60 minutes on the Monday because everyone went on the Monday. All the deluxe resorts were there for the Monday.
Yeah,
That was our mistake.
We made the mistake once of going. I forgot what day of the week it was, to go to Hollywood Studios, thinking everybody's going to go to Epcot and Magic Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios will be free and clear. Nope, not so. It seems like everybody's
I bet you they were free today with the guy from the Eagles here.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Jalen Hurst.
Wasn't he in the Magic Kingdom though?
Yeah,
He was. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
No, I think that's what
Oh,
you
so
meant.
it was quieter.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes you get lucky, sometimes not so much. Anybody else want to add anything about the dining plan? I think we've given our viewers and listeners something to think about.
Yep.
I think it's all of our opinions here that the dining plan just isn't worth it. There's a lot of food, a lot of cost, and even if cost doesn't mean anything to you, the calories might.
I do have something to add.
Sure, go ahead.
We've had Becky Menken on here before from MEI Travel.
Yep.
And even when they give out free dining plan, you're paying the rack rates for those resort rooms.
That's right. That's right.
So there's no discount. And right now, if you could get a discount or 30 or 40% and then pay extra for the dining plan, you would still save more money than paying the rack rate and getting a free dining plan. So you think you're getting something for nothing, but you're really not. So you really need to watch where you're going and how you're doing that.
And if your travel planner doesn't make you aware of that, then you do not have the right travel
You have the
planner.
wrong travel
Correct.
planner. Yeah.
All right, that's
I
going to wrap
thought
up.
Stuart had the best option was go and buy those gift cards. If
Yeah.
you can get them at Sam's Club when it's like 10 or 15% off, you save money that way. You can always go to Target and use your Target Circle card and save 5%. So you're paying 95 instead of 100. You buy 5 of them, you're saving. You do the math. I don't know. I'm not that smart today. $25.
Yeah. I had my face
Everybody.
frozen in a number of places, so my brain is frozen too today as well. All right, that's going
Right.
to do it for us today. Darlene, do you want, or actually, before we go, Darlene, do you want to add anything?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, that will do it for us today. We'll be back next week with another show, my final show. But the show will go on after me, so tune in for that. Until next time, everybody be safe, be yourself. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Have a magical night. Stay safe. Please pack your sunscreen and a hat because it's very sunny down here.
That it is.